Good afternoon once again, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to SRL, the Mazda GT Sport League, and in this case we are visiting Nurburgring for the second time after, of course, last week's complete failure in getting that race basically started with some interesting glitches preventing people from getting off the line, and then we just ran out of time eventually. So this is actually my best qualifying lap. As you can see, I'm currently P2 behind Nurburgring, also known as OP Magic. He was on form, really showing his pace for the first time in the season, and unfortunately for him, I had a bit more pace, and it was very fractionally more. As you can see, the race winner from the previous round, Dynamite, is not in front of us, although he does have a time that's good enough for P3, just not showing on the leaderboard currently. Possibly because he's in the pits, I think. That's a very strange feature of the game, which I wish wasn't actually part of it. Either way, purple to that sector as well. Hopefully we can maintain that. We've actually been struggling quite a lot in the final sector, so it's not done and dusted just seeing all these purple sectors popping up. We'll continue to watch it though. Through turns, I think these are 9 and 10, I could be wrong. Not quite clipping the apex on either of them, but there or thereabouts, and we're still purple heading towards the chicane, which is always an interesting spot for overtaking. I remember once I actually overtook a car over the top when I got launched by the curb. Anyhow, we'll try not to do that this time. Carefully over the curbs, no warnings or anything, and it looks like we're going to get a clean lap in here finally. We had a bit of dodging of cars to do when cars were paused, which don't ghost for some reason in this game. Across the line we come, 6,000ths margin of pole, very close and right at the death of the session as well. That was my last lap. So that'll be our first pole, I believe, in any of the races we've done, pre-season or not. And Nurburgring second, Dynamite, previous race runner, in third. I have to watch out for him. Stingray starting at the back, I'm not sure whether he'd set a lap or not. Time to race, 3, 2, 1, and we're off. It's a decent start. You can tell straight away that you're not bogging down compared to the others, and I might be able to defend to the inside here. OP probably won't dive bomb me, but there are some cars behind that may be at risk of that. And indeed, we can hear the contact behind. I think that was Nemo forcing OP wide. Dynamite got through, and he was definitely one to watch out for. He had a lot of pace, and I had to defend hard. By lap 4 out of 20, he was all over me. I'm not sure what tyres he had on, but I had the softs at this point, and he had a lot of pace advantage. He tried it around the outside of the chicane. Not quite enough space at that point on the track though, although I did get a bit sideways. Thankfully, his run was also poor out of the corner. Into turn 1 on lap 7, and there's contact and a bit of a barge pass. I mean, I'm still getting used to GT racing compared to F1. In F1, obviously, that might be frowned upon, that sort of overtake, but perhaps not here. I'm not really sure. I need to find the line. It's a bit blurred for me at the moment. Either way, we're now behind Dynamite, and I wasn't too pleased with the move, so I sent it up the inside myself. No contact though, and got back into the lead on the same lap I lost it. But he is all over us, and as you can see, there's a third car there in the battle, and that's Stingray, who's worked his way up from the back. Bit of a push there actually through the kink. If that kink may not have been there, I'd actually have lost the position prior to the chicane, and we do indeed lose the position with a bit more contact. So at lap 7, everything really kicking off. Get pushed across the chicane, and I decide it's time to pit. I'm going for a 2-stop. Dynamite and Stingray end up going for a 1-stop, which is interesting. I'm not really sure what tyres they were on. I thought it said super softs, which is interesting that they got theirs further than I got my softs. Out we would come, we would remain 4th, which was key. No traffic to really deal with, and you can see the gap there is about 15.5 seconds. The only car we had to overtake was Nemo. There was a tiny bit of contact. He ended up getting out of the way because he knew he wasn't really in the battle, and as you can see, the gap has closed to around 9 seconds to the cars in front. So a big undercut here, and that's going to be necessary to make my strategy work. The next 3 cars would be pitting at lap 9 and going to the end. I pitted again at the end of lap 13. Super softs for both of the last 2 stints strangely lasted just as long as the softs, so may as well use that advantage in the grip. 12 seconds to the leader when I came out of the pits. Now, this is a bit of an unfortunate thing. A lap down here, Bro 88Z didn't quite get out of the way as easily as I would have liked, but he apologised for that, perhaps unsighted. We caught up to Stingray on lap 17. He did try and defend, but it just wasn't enough. He had no grip in comparison to me. As you can see, it gives us the big squeeze. We actually end up sending off track here. I'm not sure exactly who can be blamed for that. I think we had enough space on the right of us though to not be awarded a penalty for that. And he wouldn't lose any further positions anyway, safe in P3. So it was Dynamite. We caught him, we caught that massive gap. But of course it's another entirely different prospect to overtake a car. He's clearly going to be determined to defend. There's only 1 and a bit laps left. And not through here, that's a bit risky, but we are all over him. We'll see if he defends into the next corner, otherwise we might go for it. Yes, he is pulling to the inside. I go for a bit of a look. He turns in. Interesting stuff. Goes a bit wide. I've set him up for a nice run down this straight towards the chicane. Can he pull alongside before the kink? He covers it off. Yeah, we might have to back off. No, we kept our foot in. And if we tuck into the slipstream, we might have an opportunity here. We'll try and outbrake him. Not going to happen. Set him up for the last corner perhaps. Yeah, we've got a great run out of there. Ooh, puts the squeeze on us into the pit lane. Thankfully we had the momentum to get our nose in front. And on the last corner of the penultimate lap, we have our lead. However, there's an overtaking point into turn 1. We'll see what happens. Remember, he did a dive bomb earlier in the race, which gave him the lead on lap 7. What's going to happen here? I'm going to go to the inside. There's not really much room down the inside, but still there's some contact. Oh dear. We end up getting away with it though, and that would be the lead for the remainder of the race. Of course, the tyres giving up on the Dynamite Mazda, and we would come across the line to win our first race of the official season, 3rd time including the pre-season races, and now we're equal on points, I believe, with Dynamite. There it is. Minardi Burger and Stingray would fight over P3, but Stingray would prevail in the end. And there it is, victory. Congratulations to me, thank you very much. I really enjoyed that race, a fantastic battle. I've been Jacko, see you next week.